When I installed this screen on my F-150 a couple months ago, I'm pretty sure I used the words game changer. And I'm gonna double down on that. This screen has dramatically increased the quality of the interior of this F-150. However, modifications can't really be considered upgrades if you have to give up features. And one of the things that I called out in this review that I had a hard time with was the fact that it was missing the preset buttons in this center area here. In my last review, I said I was going to reach out to the folks at CarABC and see what they were planning on doing about it. CarABC is listening, and they sent me this panel to enable us to add the preset buttons back to the center console of the F-150, ultimately making this one of the most worthwhile upgrades that you can do to your F-150, in my opinion. So today we're installing this, and we're going to do a couple of those while you're in there things along the way. Let's get to it. The interior of the F-150 is back to looking like a rat's nest of wires, but that'll be short-lived. Now we just got to disassemble the entire screen so that we can put in the preset buttons. The button panel is right here, which in looking at it, looks like this needs to come off, which means we're going to be taking out quite a few screws here. Now I wonder, can I get this panel out and this out without having to take this off? Interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting.
It looks like we're gonna have to. There's no way I can get to these screws. Well, it kind of feels like one of those in life there are no shortcut lessons, because this little piece here was tucked underneath the screen. So I've undone everything. I've taken this off. I've obviously taken the HVAC controls off. We had to take it all apart just so that we can take this off. And now we have access to the panel that we've been trying to get to. So we're going to disassemble that now. Removing the panels isn't hard. You have 6 screws. And that should be a direct swap. The differences are very easy to see. Obviously, we have the 6 preset controls. Also, the passenger airbag light, which I didn't particularly care if it was missing or not, but a lot of people online really didn't like that that disappeared as part of this upgrade. So, it's back. Now that we've got the screws in, I'm elevating this a little bit so I can get these knobs back on. You only go in a certain way, so it should be pretty easy to get those aligned. Yep. And then we can start to put this all back together. Just like that. Okay, we have the panel installed, we have the board installed, we have the HVAC controls reinstalled. Now we need to insert these ribbons very carefully to connect the HVAC board to the audio board. Then we can install this shield and get it back in the truck. There we go. Photo go in. Well, we're back in the truck and we're ready to reinstall the screen, but I did mention that we were going to be doing some while you're in there mods, and it's time to talk about those. First things first, I hate auto stop start. I'm sure that I'm in the majority there when I say that. It's a dumb idea. I understand why Ford had to do it, but it's time for it to go. I read online that there's a way that you can eliminate it using ForeScan, but that it may potentially do some funky things with your battery management system. I'm not about that. I found this Eliminator cable online for a couple bucks, and so we're going to install this instead. And what this does is it just remembers the status of your button when you turn your vehicle off. So if you have auto stop start off, it keeps that consistent, whereas the OEM setting restarts auto stop start every time you turn on the vehicle. There we go. Up next, trailer brake control. So my vehicle didn't come equipped with this, much like the hill descent control. I found this aftermarket unit online for, again, a couple bucks, And so we're gonna install this. This simply replaces a cubby that I have over here. I don't expect this to do anything without some forescan changes, and I'll give you a guess at what our next video is gonna be. All you have to do is remove that cubby. There's actually a cable here that's plugged into the cubby, and you connect it like that. This we can actually push in again, so there we go. Plugging in the cables is somewhat both boring and very satisfying. I think it's that click that you get when you plug them in. So I was actually going to do it without bringing you into it, but you should enjoy the clicks as well. Perfecto. Well, if everything was easy, it wouldn't be fun, right? What I noticed was that this cable does not fit in here. And so I went and looked online, and the one that I ordered is not for this button series where there are both of these buttons here. So I ordered a new one on Amazon, and it should be here tomorrow. Next day, we've installed the new auto stop start eliminator. And if you've ever been annoyed by your vehicle turning off in traffic, you understand the importance of this. I'll just give you a quick demonstration. Vehicle comes to life and it's off by default. My goodness, I love this feature. Everything is installed. Center console looks beautiful yet again. And with a big screen like this, you know, you feel like you should maybe watch some videos. So I ended up getting this guy, Atoto. It's an Android device that enables wireless CarPlay, which I think is a great feature, but I'm not super pleased with how it performs. Let me show you what I mean. First and foremost, it uses the 2 USB ports, so you can't have another device plugged in. If you want charging of your devices, you're out of luck with this guy. Second, when you launch Apple CarPlay, there seems to be some kind of resolution issue. When we use just the regular forward sync interface, we have 3 rows of icons, but this one we get only 2. And then when we go back to the Atoto interface, you can see that I've added different applications, which is pretty cool, but getting them to function is very hit or miss. The last time I tried this, I couldn't get YouTube to load at all. Well, it looks like we're in luck though. Since we're here, let's pull up one of my favorite channels. I guess this is a good time to remind you that I've launched a new series on the channel called Raptor Chapter, where the channel has finally become monetized, and I'm going to use any money that's earned through that monetization to work my way up to a Ford Raptor. I would really appreciate your support in that, whether that's through like and subscribing or using one of the affiliate links that we have in the description down below. A lot of you saw the CarABC screen installation video. A lot of you bought one through the link that's in that video. I think this thing is really cool, and I keep it in the truck in case I'm ever sitting in a parking lot waiting for my wife to do shopping or whatever we have going on. But this isn't what I'm using primarily in my truck. Although I do love this. This is amazing. So the next little thing I want to show you is this pretty small, very inexpensive wireless Apple CarPlay device. I don't remember the name of it, but I'll put a link down in the description. And what I love about this is it only does CarPlay and it just works. This only uses one USB port, which means that we have the other one to charge our devices. All right, and here you can see that this CarPlay device allows me to connect to my phone wirelessly. It gives me the 3 rows of icons that I expect as if my phone was directly connected to my truck via a USB cable. And being that it gives me back another USB port, I can now use this, a MagSafe charger for my iPhone, which means I no longer have to plug a cable into my phone when I get in. I place the phone here and CarPlay starts automatically. There you have it. The F-150 just keeps getting better and better, and we're not stopping anytime soon. If you like this, there's a link in the description to save yourself a pretty decent amount off. You don't have to just take my word for it. Go check on YouTube. There's a ton of people that have installed these things, and they love them just as much as me. This is Rob Schultz. You're watching Test Driver. I'll see you next time. Can you see me? Hello there, Internet. When I introduced this screen to this channel, when I installed this screen on my I think that was a good intro, right? I mean, all right, screen's on it. Blah, blah, blah. I've obviously taken the drop things. Goodness gracious. Okay, we have everything. So sweaty. Good Lord. So our little friend Toto, so we're just gonna call him Toto. Our little friend Toto here. Well, there you have it. Well, there you have it. Well, there you have it.